set.
Great. Awesome. All right. Welcome to the Flowcode for Education webinar. We are so excited to have you all here with us today, wherever you are in the world this evening, if you're on the East Coast, or afternoon on the West. I am joined here by my customer advocate team. I'm joined here by Corinne and Alex as well, and they'll be helping me lead the webinar today. I'll go ahead and start us off talking about Flowcode's solution, and then Alex will walk you through some use cases for the education industry. Corinne will take the lead, just talking about some of our pro features, and then we'll end the webinar with a Q&A. And if you do stick around to the end, there is a very fun and exciting announcement and surprise for you as a thank you for joining this webinar. So I'll go ahead and get started. So Flowcode, we connect the real world to the digital world instantly and magically. We are an offline to online platform, and I will define that a little later in the presentation. But currently on our platform, we are so happy to host 3 million plus creators on our platform with over 350 million connections in over 100 countries currently, and we are continuing to grow. And we do partner with many sectors of education, universities, schools, charter schools, you name it. And we're so excited to kind of share their use cases with you today. And so really, I'm sure why many of you are here. I noticed that, most of you are free customers, some are pro. So by now you're probably weighing either a QR provider or you're completely new to QR and to Flowcode. So I'll kind of walk you through what really differentiates us versus that kind of standard cookie cutter checkerboard QR code and what makes Flowcode kind of different. And I think the very first thing that we can all agree on is our design. We've got a best-in-class design. Our codes are highly customizable. That means that you can add your hex colors, your brand logo, any call to action around the border, and it can really fit into your marketing and to your creative pretty beautifully. And with the Pro plan, you do have access with Pro and Pro Plus to a custom designed flow code so that you can, take that Flowcode QR to the next level and match your branding. Next, our flow codes are completely dynamic. So if you've done a little bit of research, there are two types of QR codes out there. There's a static QR code, and a dynamic QR code. So static means that you can't change that code's destination, so that if your website changes or any destination changes, you'll have to reprint your marketing. And so the beauty of Flowcode is that every single flow code is dynamic with unlimited scans. You can change the scans and destination as many times, you can change the destination as many times as you'd like in the platform, and it will update in real time. Next, the data. So Corinne will walk through the data a little bit more later in the presentation, but everything at Flowcode is trackable, in the platform. And the QR code itself is really the tip of the iceberg for us. We are a full suite platform. You can track scans by date, day of the week, time of day, and device type. But I won't steal Corinne's thunder too much, and she'll take a deeper dive later. And then, of course, privacy. So we are fully GDPR and CCPA compliant. What that really means is that when you scan a flow code, we don't collect any personally identifiable information from the user. So you have some level of insurance when you're using a flow code and when you're scanning a flow code. All of that first-party data is captured through Flowpage, through our CRM capture, and I'll go through what that looks like in the next slide. And then, of course, our design is patent protected, and every single code is quality assured to make sure that they scan beautifully when they're out in the real world. And then we have Flowpage. So Flowpage is our sister product to Flowcode. It's a great way to educate and engage with your students, your faculty, pretty much anyone in your administration. In the first example that you see with St. Francis University, you'll see they have it more of kind of an informational landing page. You can apply on their website. You can link out to any external links, add a syllabus, student resources, maybe a parent portal on here. You can also embed media on here, so YouTube videos or any other media, images, you name it. And there's polling features. There's a bevy of different features on here. And then in the right example, you have a kind of a different example, what it's called like a digital business card. And essentially, you'll see here, Ainsley Hill, she has information related to her email at the very top. You also can use this as a V card and download that information, post your socials, and of course, collect that first party data if you need to through our contact collection form at the very bottom, peeking here where it says, let's connect. But this is included with the Pro and Pro Plus plans, and you have that available to you to explore. And then overall, the slide really just kind of wraps up our total suite. So like I mentioned earlier, we are an offline to online technology platform. What that term really means is that we take an offline experience, whether it's a flyer, an out-of-home advertisement, something that maybe traditionally wasn't trackable. We put a Flowcode on it, and now you can track the engagement of that piece of marketing. And then, you can tie that Flowcode to Flowpage, and now you can track all the data and analytics for both your code and your page. On the page, you can track things like clicks. You can attach a Facebook pixel. There's a lot of neat things that you can do with the power of QR and our landing page solution. And without further ado, I'll pass it along to Alex, who will walk us through some use cases.
Thanks, Georgette. So I'm going to be talking about use cases of how you can use Flowcode in the classroom. So the first one is obviously you're wasting less paper. As you see in the example, the teacher has the code scan saying, welcome back to school. You can have a code of that size or smaller to scan for homework, a link for a test, scan for a summer reading list, or you can scan to incorporate games to make learning more engaging. You can offer an easy way to connect with students and parents using Flowpage as well. It's basically your digital business card. You can also include links to schedule appointments or students' teacher conferences. And you can use extracurricular student experience. So there are so many ways to optimize Flowcode for students. It makes it easy to get involved in clubs or student government, and obviously Flowcode will make knowledge more accessible in the classroom. And again, extracurricular student experiences. So you could scan a Flowcode, makes it easy to get involved in clubs or student government or other organizations. Students could also purchase games or event tickets or, student body to get more involved. School tour guides and orientation leaders can also take advantage of Flowcode and scan to land on a school landing page, where new students can easily reach resources or guides, contact information. And then school fundraising and marketing. So attaching a unique Flowcode to a marketing effort is a great way to understand what campaign and which codes are gaining attention. And it is also a great way to measure because each code is unique. And there are 3 unique ways to integrate Flowcode into a fundraising effort. So before the event, you can use Flowcode to gain interest and make people aware of the event itself. During the event, you can use Flowcode to share a depth of information as to why they should donate, and this will also further engage attendees overall. Instead of printing like multiple pamphlets, you can project or print one code or have multiple codes across the event for all attendees to scan. And then post fundraising, you can analyze the contributions and how to better connect with contributors moving forward. And lastly, with Alumni Fundraising, we have a really easy to engage platform. So it's a simple step to engage alumni and get them involved. And alumni can also connect with other alumni through shareable processes and linked out communities. And then as you can see, there's really nowhere you can't put a Flowcode. And then for additional features, we have Flowtag, which is a great use for business card or use for student body. Flowtag is a next-gen social sharing. Your entire social ecosystem is basically on the back of your phone. It's an adhesive that you can stick to the back of your phone, and you can easily share your contact information, LinkedIn, email, phone number, so your students can get easily in contact with you. Or you can have a student use the Flowtag on the back of their phone, and that can really get your school's brand out there in the real world. Behind every Flowtag is your own personal landing page that you can design to match your personality or aesthetic, or your school's brand and aesthetic as well. If you are at a networking event, someone can scan or tap your Flowtag to automatically be connected to your personal landing page. And again, having a branded flow tag that you can put out to your students puts your school's logo in the real world, and you're really able to understand adoption and use our data and analytics to understand who is on your flow page, what they're clicking on, and who's engaging with your links. We actually have a really great advocate in Ainsley Hill, who is a teacher who was using Flowcode as like a lock screen on her phone. And so she would go to networking events and have people scan for her digital business card. We reached out to her and told her about FlowTag, and she found it as a great solution. And this video, she kind of talks about her personal experience with FlowTag and how, and her successes with it.
I'll try and play the video. Let's see if you can hear it.
I created a digital business card for my phone wallpaper for FETC, and I posted it on Twitter. People went crazy. I saw so many cool designs, and I was overwhelmed by the response. I've been using my digital business card for some time now, and I've had a couple of problems with it. One, I had to use 3 different programs to make it. And 2, the notifications on my screen keep blocking my Flowcode to connect with others. Flowcode actually reached out to me and told me that there was a better.
Just a little glimpse of Ainsley and her excitement to FlowTag.
What's up?
Oh. Awesome.
Now I'll pass it to Corinne to talk about data and analytics.
Thank you. Great job. So data and analytics are one of the many tools that you have access to on the Flowcode platform. So data and analytics comes with Flowcode and FlowPage. FlowTag is also treated as a Flowcode, so you'll be able to see all that data within your analytics dashboards as well. But as Georgette mentioned, you do have access to the date of scan. So with our basic plan, you'll be able to see how many scans you're getting or engagement you're getting, whether that's on Flowcode or FlowPage, and what date you're getting those on. You can filter it by today, the last 7 days, the last 30 days, and even the last 90 days. If you're interested in anything beyond that, you can talk to us about different options, including ProFlex and Enterprise, which include a little bit more robust data and reporting. But if you're interested in just a little bit more advanced analytics, you can also access Pro and Pro Plus analytics dashboards, which also give you a more in-depth breakdown of your codes. You can see your top performing codes given the current period scan rates versus all-time scan rates, as well as a breakdown of your traffic. So it shows you what device types people are using, whether it's an Android or iOS device, what time of day they're scanning, and then the day of the week. So this is great if you're ever interested in marketing attribution. So you can put unique codes on, let's say, a magazine advertisement and a TV advertisement. See which one is getting the most engagement or the most scans, and then you can allocate your marketing budget appropriately. So you can say, all right, we got the most scans on the TV advertisement. We're gonna put more money into that rather than doing the magazine ad. So again, just you can really diversify how you're using your codes, especially if you have access to more than one of them. We get that question a lot, like, why would I need more than one? In a classroom, you can put them in different locations so that you can see where is getting the most engagement around the school. And again, as Alex touched on, as fundraising as well. Next is a pro feature, Smart Rules. So this allows you to change the scan destination based on 3 attributes, including device type, day of the week, and time of day. So a great use case for this could be, let's say you're in the classroom and you want your code to scan to contact you or connect with you, versus on the weekend you can have it scanned to the student portal and other resources, or even additional learning resources as well. Next is another pro feature called bulk creation, and this allows you to create up to 50 flow codes at a time. As we mentioned, it might be useful for you to create more than one code. And this will just automate that process so you don't have to work on them individually, and you can just automatically create them into one folder. And just going through a few other features. So all Flowcodes have unlimited scans. You don't have to worry about being upsold to a different tier based on the amount of scans that you're getting. Also, with our Pro accounts, you have access to a custom code. So you can get a beautifully designed code from our in-house design team, including your logo or any other brand guidelines that you have, whether you want it to be in line with your school or your own personal code. I know Ainsley Hill has her own beautiful one, which she loves. But if not, we also have our auto design tool within our platform that allows you to choose from various colors as well as upload your own logo. We also have flow pages, which we touched on before, but it is worth mentioning that you have access to up to 5 of them with a Flowcode Pro account. So you can use them for a bunch of different things, including having your own personal flow page. And last but not least, we do have Pro support, including a dedicated email for Pro customers, and we are more than happy to talk to you about best practices, tips and tricks, and also send you helpful resources that we think would make you successful in your implementation of Flowcode. Just calling out also that we will be following up with all of our registrants of this webinar, including a recording of this and some other resources that we think would be beneficial. And I'll pass it over to Georgette for open Q&A.
Thank you, Corinne and Alex. And we are at our Q&A. If there are any, jumping ahead. If there are any questions, please drop them in to the Q&A chat bar. Any question, we're open to anything, feedback that you have. Now is the time to do it, and we will answer your questions live. And I'll get, we're trickling in. All right. I see someone said greetings. Hello. I'll give you guys maybe a minute or so. I know sometimes it takes time to type out some questions. All right. I have one question here. Where can I put my flow code? So in addition to kind of the use cases that Alex mentioned, essentially the best answer I can give is any documentation that you have, anything that has a URL on it, you can keep the URL, phone number, any call to action on there, but just add a flow code, and I'm guarantee you that that'll create an instant connection instead of going in and having a student type their parent portal. Some portals I know have unique links per student, etc., or maybe they're just like a really long frame URL. You can put a QR code on that or flow code, and that student, parent, or anyone can really scan it. You can put it in the library. I've seen that done. Ainsley Hill School that we mentioned earlier, they put it in their library to kind of scan to different readings because students have iPads, recognizing that every single school has different technological kind of capabilities, but those are just a few examples as well. All right. Okay, so another question we have, will today's participants receive today's presentation? Yes, we can absolutely share that out. And then where can I find some training on how I can create and use? I made one, but don't understand making multiple and the multiple places one code can be used for. Yes, so we host every single week. We host weekly onboardings, actually 3 days a week, 3 or 4 days a week now, and we'll continue to add. So we'll actually send that in the follow-up email where you can sign up for an onboarding session. It is so useful. We call them office hours. You can join them as many times as you'd like per week if you still have questions. I know a lot of people like to do that. And then one other question we have here, is there a support chat group users can join? The best group that I can give you right now, and it'll be at the very end, is going to be the Facebook community that we have currently. If you're not on Facebook, we also are we're exploring different options as well. And if there is a specific community, if Facebook doesn't work right now, please let me know, because we are exploring different kind of groups that people can kind of crowdsource different information and share ideas. And then another question here is, where can I get a flow tag? So flow tag is available directly in the print store. So every single user in Flowcode has access to the print store, where they can order anything from stickers, table tents, signs, and of course, flow tag. It's important to note, though, that when you order a custom flow tag, I usually tell people if you order multiple, it will be multiple of the same flow tag. If you're looking for a bulk order of unique flow tags, maybe you want to give them out to your employees or something, or your students rather, then kind of reach out to one of us to place a separate order with one of our vendors.
And Georgette, just jumping in here, sometimes people ask the difference between a sticker and a flow tag. So flow tags obviously are adhesive. You can put them on anything, but as Georgette mentioned, all of them are unique. So you have to scan them and then activate them themselves. Whereas a sticker is more so like you'll order that in bulk quantities and it'll already have the scan destination assigned to it. So a little bit different activation and ways to set up the back end scan destination.
Perfect. Thank you, Corinne.
Welcome.
Okay, and I'm sure we'll have a few more Q&A trickle. It always comes along as the presentation goes on, but in the meantime, thank you so much for sticking to the very end of this and for spending 30 minutes with us. We know how much teachers work and all day. It's an extremely respectable career. For that, we want to thank you by offering everyone a free Flowcode Pro account for teachers and educators. And if you do have a Pro account already, you will be able to, as of today, just no longer essentially have to pay a monthly subscription. It will be free. Your account will fall in to that category. And this is kind of our gift to you. And within this account, you'll actually get a unique referral link where you can refer a Flowcode Pro account up to 10 teachers in your network as well. So if you just scan the Flowcode, this lovely Flowcode on the side here, you can sign up anytime. We'll also send the link as well. And then we will be hosting live onboardings to walk you through the platform specific to education. Treat this almost like an ambassador program. We are here for you. We'll share best practices and how to kind of launch QR in the classroom. So I'll leave this up for a second or two to let you guys scan it. And of course, if you have any issues joining, you'll hear from us today. So you'll have our email so you can reply if you have any issues.
And Georgette was kind enough to put together a little flow page with a bunch of resources, a little Flowcode Teacher Academy. So we'll also follow up with that link as well so you can access it and see all the onboarding materials that you might need.
Perfect. Okay. And just to wrap it up, again, thank you so much for your time and stay connected with us. Since there was interest to join a group, this is your opportunity. Definitely scan the Flowcode on the screen, join our Facebook creator community. So many people like to just post in here, let us know what they're working on, ask questions. This is a really great place and we're really building this out. But like I said, from the community level, if there's anything that we can do for you, if there's a better place for educators and teachers, definitely let us know. Feedback is a gift, especially at Flowcode, so we really appreciate it. And that's a wrap. Thanks so much, everyone, for joining, and enjoy the rest of your evening or your afternoon, wherever you are in the world.
Thank you.